Hey, it's your boy Bobby B. I want to talk about a subject that comes to mind, and that is Cain the karma? Tariq's karma. Is he Tariq's karma? Now, this is a question that I think some of us have talked about here and there over the years. The conversation is most definitely in regards to the fact that even though we don't like what Cain does to Tariq, we didn't like what Tariq did in book one. We didn't like when he helped save Dre's life when they were about to take him out. We didn't like when he teamed up with Vincent to set up his father and Tommy and his mom and have them give millions of dollars for him and Vincent to split into some sort of scheme or whatever. We didn't like him siding with Kanan, and every time Ghost was trying to protect him from the streets, he wanted to argue. We didn't like when he sided with Tasha and immediately took Tasha's side instead of looking at things from his father's perspective and his mother's perspective. A lot of the things that Tariq did was very emotionally charged. And he showed with his brain whenever he wanted to come up with a plan, how he could outthink something and put some stuff together. But that was literally off of emotion versus logic. And it seems like logic, book two for him, even though he's the main character of book two is about the logic kicking in for him to see why a man like his father was the kind of man he was, did the kind of things he did, and everything of that nature. So with that being said, is Cain the karma? Now, when it comes down to it, could Cain be the karma for the wrongs that Tariq have done in book one? Now, we're going to have to, I'm lighting up a list, and I'm not overlooking Kanan too. He's done Kanan wrong as well too. Kanan's fate was sealed by Tariq and the things Tariq did too. So he was affected as well. And don't forget about the fact that he attempted to take Tommy out as well. Tommy almost did, was in a situation where he barely survived, but he did. At the end of the day, though, when it comes down to it, could Cain be the karma? It's like, if you really look at Cain is like the ultimate book one fan. He is the emotion and the embodiment of the anger of Ghost's death, of Kanan's death, of Tommy's setup, of the fall of the family, of the betrayal with Dre. He is like the embodiment of everything come to life. And even though he's a character that we don't like because he's in conflict with Tariq, he's technically Tariq's karma. He's the consistent challenge. He's the consistent opponent. He is the person that is always making things hard for this man. And in season one, he just made up in his mind off of emotion. The same thing Tariq was running off of in book one without logic. The same thing Tariq was doing in book one, that he just did not like this man. Tariq's introduction to Cain was being cool and showing him how skilled he was and trying to be cool with him. But Cain did not care about that. Cain made up in his mind, I don't like this dude. He is too smart. I don't like this dude. He think he knows stuff. You just some college kid, blase, blase. And the more he steps into Tariq's past and learns stuff about Tariq, the more angry or jealous or in denial he becomes about him. He's coming at Tariq the same way Tariq came after everybody in book one. So from a perspective, he is consistently the challenge, where Tariq was the challenge and the opponent of his father and Tommy and everybody in book one, a secret opponent at that, because they never saw it coming from him. But when they did discover him, they try to overlook what he did, saying he doesn't know what he's doing and he's over his head, or people playing with him, manipulating him or whatever. At the end of the day, he knew what he was doing, and whatever he thought he was right, he did what he had to do. So when it comes down to it, the same way he moved in book one against everybody is the same way Cain moves in book two against him. Every season, Cain wants to take down Tariq. Season one, he tried to have this man killed. I want to say several times. He even thought about doing it himself. He had a split with his family over it. Season two, the biggest moment in season two, one of the biggest moments was him putting the badge in Tariq's drawer for him to get set up for the officer's murder. It was a whole bunch of stuff where he's trying to get Tariq taken out. And now in season three, he would probably be plotting on something else already, but he was so caught up with the stuff he was dealing with his family that he hasn't had time to really even come at Tariq. But now, with the opportunity here, the first thing he says is, let's set up Tariq. So, I mean, at the end of the day, in a way, I know you could probably look at Cain like, yeah, he's the bad guy. Yeah, he's the opponent. I'm tired of him. He's doing the most. But in the same way, he could be the person who's giving Tariq back what he's done in book one. He could be the person giving Tariq back all that energy that he's did in book one. He's paying him back the karma. Maybe it's some universal law, some grand design. Cain is the revenge for the stuff Tariq did in book one. And technically, he may be the hero of the story versus being the villain, even though he does some trifling shit. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's just me speaking a perspective that we've all been talking about together for a couple of years. And in a way, if you really look at it, he is the karma. I think I spoke about this before. I did a video on this, I think sometime last year or a while back. But yeah, I think that man is most definitely the karma. But I want to say to all of you that it is your boy, Bobby B's here. I just want to say much love, much respect, hold it down, and woo.